tutorial. So I want to show you how to create our puzzle using simple lines inside of Beam Studio. So in our first part, we converted our file to an SVG, a scalable vector graphics, so that we can read it inside Beam Pro. Now we are going to create our puzzle. So you can start off by choosing a shape. I'm going to choose the square, and it's important to do a border for our puzzle to fit in. So I'm going to do 2 squares. If you were doing circles, you would do 2 circles, one inside the other. Let's add another layer. Over there, you just click plus. And to make life a bit easier, I'm going to lock this layer so that we don't interfere with it. And just draw another square on the inside. Unlock the layer again. Let's do a quick change. Okay, so now we've got a border. Now, to do something quite simple, or to do it in a simple way, I'm just going to go ahead and move this to layer 3. Go ahead, I'm going to lock layer 3. We're just going to use lines and keep it super simple. Okay, so we're going to use the line tool over here. I'm going to go ahead, lock all the layers, lock, and create a new layer. And the reason I'm locking it is just so that it doesn't interfere when I click on it or anything. I can just work over it. So here we have our layer 4. We're going to work in layer 4. And we're just going to use the line tool, and we're going to draw some lines going across. So this is a pretty easy way to make a puzzle. All I'm really doing is just clicking and then dragging my mouse across the screen, and then when I'm done, I release the click. Pretty simple stuff. Let's try and focus on keeping the lines touching the borders. This is very important because we don't want to disrupt our border. As you can see, I'm just quickly tweaking the lines so that they fit inside. Also, another thing to note is the size of each piece. You don't want to be cutting too smaller pieces. It's going to make for a very terrible puzzle. Here we go, that should be good. So, if you had to choose between, so here we have an example. If you have to choose between a line going over and a line not touching, you definitely want the line to go over instead of not touching. This will make sure that it has a clean cut. If you go over a little bit, it's fine, don't worry about it. Oh, it's a little bit tricky, so it takes a bit of time. So when I say small pieces, like this is going to be a small piece. We're trying to avoid that. So we can move our line. Changing the angle will make the piece a lot bigger, but now I've got smaller pieces there. So I'm going to move the bottom of the line. Oh, and if you're wondering how I'm zooming in, I'm just using the scroll, the middle button on my mouse. So you can see it over there. Takes a little bit of patience, don't be frustrated. but the goal is to eliminate small pieces, so I'm just going to go ahead and move that. And that. And let's see, let's add one over here. And maybe one going across. Make some triangle pieces. And there you go, that should be more than enough. Now let's look into the nitty-gritty. We've got all these layers. So if I click on them, you can see which layer is which. What I want to do is I'm going to merge layer 4 and 3 because that will be our cut layers. We got nothing in layer 1, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. Doesn't make a difference. But you want to merge your border layer and your line layer because that's where we want to cut. Our image, on the other hand, we want to engrave. So a power of 15% and a speed of even something like, let's say 60 is perfect for engraving on cardboard. On wood it might be a bit different. And then for cutting, so let's merge this down. I'm right clicking on my PC and I'm merging down. I'm going to unlock the layer, or it doesn't matter, I can lock it, keep it locked. And I'm going to say layer 3 is going to be my cut layer. So I'm going to say 15 and maybe a speed of 18. Sorry, 50% and a speed of 18 millimeters a second. So you can see 15 and 60 for the engraving and 50 and 18 for our cuts. So what I'm going to show you next is how it looks. So hang on a moment and I'll print it out, export it to the machine. We just click here, export, we see our machine. Oh, it disappeared. Okay, our machine is back and connected. Analyze the SVG. Let's look at our cut time. Only 9 minutes and 12 seconds. So let's fast forward to the results. Okay, so our tutorial is complete. Let's take a look at what it looks like. So you can see over there. Let me zoom out of it. Just as we can. Oh. And our pieces will come out. We made one small error here. Where there's a small triangle. There it is. And pieces will just come out like that. Like that. And now, but I've got a cardboard backing on it. So there's another piece of cardboard underneath. So I'll explain the next step in a bit, but we have our frame and we're going to have to take another piece of cardboard and stick our frame down. So that will be in the next step of our tutorial. Bye-bye!